Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. This is the award-winning car talk show, In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place, along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Konrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin as well. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday, the day after Christmas 2020. I'll be so glad when this year is over with. I think that me and everybody else is probably feeling about the same, don't you?
Please,
well, it brings a new phrase to it brings a new meaning to the phrase in 2020 hindsight.
There you go.
Are you going to blame the dog for that?
Where is she?
You are just
right down here.
She's down there. She's down there. Just leave her alone.
Oh my gosh.
This time.
Yeah, 12:01 is going to be 2020 hindsight.
And that'll be good. Start a new year.
What a pain.
I know. It has been for everybody. Some people less so than others, and those that are struggling even harder than we are, and we feel for you. But we're looking forward to it, and we have Mr. Tomlin. Looks like he's there, ready to go, and another excursion in audio excellence.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Zoom excellence. Richard, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh,
well, we're good.
Got it right.
I see you're already at the office this morning.
Yeah, getting a couple last-minute things ready on two cars for the Enduro today at 1 o'clock.
Oh, you're going to go to that. Okay. Well, we just had the promoter at that event.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties with James. We got a little slot. He's going to come back in about an hour and wrap up.
Sometimes Zoom just doesn't work for all of us.
Well, it's not the Zoom thing. It's when people put those little Bluetooth headsets in, it jacks with the signal and it messes us up. So anyway.
But we'll have that corrected. So you're bringing a couple of cars with you out there to the Enduro?
Yeah, we're taking two Miatas. We've got a friend coming down from Dallas to race with us. So we've got two Miatas. We'll have 8 drivers total out there playing today.
So what kind of Miatas? Spec Miatas?
Neither one of these are spec Miatas. One of them's pretty special. It's got a hairdryer on it. This is one that we take to Mexico and race. Miata makes about 210 at the wheels. It's caged for 2 people. This one's been driven into a boulder at about 80 mile an hour before, repaired, and it's a lot lighter weight than what the spec Miatas are.
And a lot more power.
A lot more power. And this event is a fun event. We don't care too much about the rules. Just come out here. Don't be hitting each other, costing everybody money. Let's go play and let's go race for 4 hours and put 2020 in the books,
So tell me about, now you're the regional executive for SCCA in this area. How would you grade the 2020 season for you guys, other than being difficult because of COVID?
It was, I can say this as far as membership and as far as growth, we are leading the country here in Houston. We're at over 10% growth. We're over 1,000 members now. We were at 860 this time last year, and we're just over 1,000 right now. So we've done something right, or we've changed how we're marketing, or people are just learning about us. So you're excited what 2021 can bring for us.
You're also just recently the president, though, or the head of this down here, aren't you?
This is starting year 2 for me.
Yep.
Correct. And
so
I've got a whole lot of people on the board helping me get this thing going.
You and your team deserve a lot of the credit for the growth then. Do you think some of that might also be attributed to the fact that Texas hasn't put the ironclad on everybody down here? That
there is a lot of that.
Yeah.
And our autocross program took it probably harder than – I know it took it harder than the road race and our time trials program. But you got to think about an autocross. We're going to have 120 to 150 people together at one time. So we'll have stricter regulations on that type of gathering. Whereas if it's a small road race or a small track sprint time trial event, I may have 30 to 50 people, and it's a whole lot easier to manage there. So
yeah, it's the integrity of the organization, too. I mean, he's been 2 years doing that, and it's the class of people, the class of the event.
Yeah, well, and everybody taking responsibility in the time of COVID to do the right thing, and those people that you can ask to control themselves. So for you, the difference is a little bit of You're racing, you tend to do a lot of that at Crescent and then at MSR versus your autocrossing that you do at Gulf Greyhound Park. Is that a fair?
Yep. So Gulf Greyhound Park, we do GGP, which is Grand Sport Speedway, a smaller facility in Hitchcock. We also used to race at the Houston Police Academy, but that's been taken off the board, of course. And that one's on indefinite hold. So we're seeing some contraction of number of sites we have access to run and cost of said sites, right? Because as more sites go away, others start increasing our pricing.
Because they can.
But, what?
Because they can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plenty of that going on right now, too.
So I want to learn more about this hot rod Miata that you've got there with 210 horsepower.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well,
go look at it?
You want to know if he wants to know if he can
Definitely.
fit in the seat.
No, I'm not I don't care about that.
Yeah, you said it seats too. Why don't you take somebody out, take Don out for a ride and make him scream like a girl?
It does seat too.
Cage for two.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can turn this video around.
So this doesn't necessarily fit any class, does it?
No, this is we built it because we wanted to go race in Mexico and go play. Yeah, this is what a caged rally Miata looks like.
So it does have a top on it.
Yeah, so the top, you might think it's a top, but it's
It's solid.
a fiberglass replica of the top.
A fiberglass replica because
Weight.
Because of weight savings.
Weight savings, and if you go to buy one of these factory hardtops, they're about $1,500. This one's only $700. So why go with the good stuff if you don't need it?
Got a few vents in that hood. That's not stock.
Yeah, not stock so much.
Is that just trying to cool the turbo?
Here in the grill. Let's see. You can get to there. No. Anyway.
I like the air inlet and the headlights.
Yep. So there's plenty of get the heat out of this. The hairdryer makes a ton of noise. There's no missing that it's actually a supercharged car for sure. As soon as it fires up, you know what you've got.
So how big is the turbo in this?
What size supercharger is that one? Do you know?
Is it a supercharger or a turbo?
Yeah, it's super.
It's a little Rotex. It's like the Rotex supercharger. C30? Yeah, so C30 is what they call it.
Well, I had no clue that they made a supercharger for that.
Well, they make a supercharger. It's just that's what Richard does for a living. He makes it fit that car. You know, the supercharger is basically a bolt-on, so he's just got to figure out a way to bolt it on and get the air through it and into the engine. Because, you know, again, an engine's just an air pump, and the more air you can put in it, the louder you can make it bang, and that's where the horsepower comes from.
Well, Konrad, something that you mentioned there that's kind of fun, too, we're working on right now is we've got a Honda Odyssey minivan that a friend of ours has started swapping a Accord 5-speed transmission into. So our hope is that by mid-January, we'll have our first manual Honda Odyssey van here.
Why?
Why not?
I
You
feel
used to run around
responsible.
in a van, Don. Come on. At one point, I'm sure you ran around in a van having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a 3-speed on the tree.
And a lot of carpet in the back.
Shag.
It was it was
On the ceiling and everything.
a Ford Econoline, I think. It had the big tray in the middle. I mean, the engine cover in the middle. We just used it to pick out stems and seeds. The car would rumble and rattle, and all the stems and
Kind
seeds
of filter it out.
rolled in the bag.
It's like a sifter.
I confess I had a 77 GMC.
Richard has absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
And
too
won't
young.
want to admit
Oh, yeah.
to it.
I had a Corvair ramp side. Come on, Don.
Oh,
Have a little
ramp
bit of a
side.
clue.
don't you wish you still had that?
No.
Yeah, sold that thing about 5 years ago now, and it's one I kind of wish I still had. It was very cool.
So you said you're bringing 2 cars out to the Enduro and 8 drivers. Is there any other support staff that comes out there with you, or are each of the drivers, the 4 drivers per car, is that basically your pit crew, or do you have some other folks show up?
It's kind of your pit crew. We'll have one mechanic going with us, plus myself, and I'm not that good of a wrench, but if something's broken, I can take it off and change it. It's a very low-key event, so today's more about having fun. I mean, it's still racing. There's still a trophy, don't get me wrong, but because it's for 4 hours, it takes a lot of things going your way before you're going to win that race.
Does your wife ever go with you to any of these events?
Man, she used to attend every one of them with me. And after like the first 12 years, when she realized it wasn't going to stop, she was out.
Yeah.
So
So is she going to stay at home and bake today?
Twice a year now.
Yeah.
So how many fuel stops will it take you in a 4-hour race running these cars?
Well, like the B specs that James is going to be running today, they'll have one fuel stop. Most of the Miatas will be 2 to 3, depending on how aggressive they drive, because they just got a smaller fuel tank, and you're wringing the daylights out of a Miata to keep it up there in the hunt. B specs are still wringing them out, but it's 1.8, 1.5 liter motors. They just don't use as much gas.
And then with that, if I was reading the rules correctly, if you come into the pits, it's a 5-minute stop.
Correct.
And
or if you get a driver change, they're not concerned about that because they know you're going to come back for fuel anyway.
Okay. So you can get everything done. Will you also be throwing a set of tires on a car?
We hope not. We're running this event on what we call some scab tires, tires that we've used in a regular race. So the hope is that you can make them last the 4 hours, but if not, we've got a spare set of tires waiting.
And that
believe me, we're no NASCAR F1 team. It's going to be more than a 2-second stop for us.
So you alluded to the fact that there's a time stop for 5 minutes, but you can't change drivers and put gas in at the same time?
Yeah, you pull your driver out of the car, then you would fuel it, and then once the fueling is done, put your driver back in the car and drive away.
I see. Now, is that an SCCA rule or just a rule for this event?
That's best practice.
Best practice.
We're not equipped and won't have the individual fire team for each driver to be standing there with a hose on them.
Right.
So get yourself out of harm's way. Always play best foot forward on that respect.
What octane is the fuel, and how big is your crew to do this?
The ones we're running will just be 93.
Oh, so you're just running pump gas?
Yep, running. I mean, both of the cars we're taking, we will drive to the track today and race them, and bearing any issues, we'll drive them back home to the shop.
So when you talk about a fire crew, is that your crew, the other 3 people that go with you that are the servicing and fire crew?
We'll have our own crew that'll be there with a fire extinguisher while we're fueling, absolutely. But when you go to a larger event, they'll actually have a fire team sitting at the end of the pit lane. So that if anything were to happen, they've got larger equipment.
They're on top
site.
of it real quick, yeah.
Yep, save somebody.
And then, messing with gasoline is a little bit different than messing with alcohol. At least gasoline, you can see the flames.
Absolutely.
Alcohol is...
nasty stuff, invisible flames. We don't want to play with that. I would mention, too, on the autocross you were talking about, January 3rd is our first one of the year. Or January 2nd. Yeah, January 3rd, Sunday. First Sunday of the month is our autocross, and this one will be back at Gulf Greyhound Park. Which everybody knows Gulf Greyhound Park is closed now. So pretty nice site. We're getting ready to do a bunch of sweeping and maintenance at the track, we hope, this year to bring it back up to our national standards. But we'll be there the first three months of this year. We'll be at Gulf Greyhound Park, first Sunday of the month. Come out and play. Dodge cones in a parking lot with us.
How much does it cost? Do I have to be an SCCA member?
You need to be an SCCA member, which is easy and gets you all kinds of additional benefits. You can actually join with a temporary weekend membership if you're fearful that it may not be for you. But the event itself is $35, and you'll get 6 to 7 attempts at the course.
That's not bad. $5 or $6. It's cheap adult entertainment.
And as long as nobody's
adult entertainment, it's a roller coaster, but you're actually driving a roller coaster. So,
and as long as there's no video, Don can bring his company cars, right?
Yeah, no video, no proof.
Actually, years ago, I did a couple of, I guess, solo 2.
Same.
And I took my company car, my GM company car.
Perfect.
And,
how'd you do?
Solo 2'd it. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot of things. The biggest thing I learned was put a lot of air in those front tires and those front-wheel drive cars. Otherwise, you just roll the edge off. So I kind of went.
It'll destroy a front set of tires pretty quick if they're under pressure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And when you show up, if you're a rookie, you should definitely ask them where the rookie walkthrough is. There's a rookie chief that will actually grab you by the hand, lead you through simple things like tire pressure, walking the course, knowing what time you work, where you report to, what time you're going to run, and the process. They'll just kind of hold your hand through the entire
Yeah, we walked the course, but I didn't. I must not have been listening to the guy that was talking about.
Imagine that.
Because I absolutely destroyed these tires. I think we had like 4 or 5 runs through, and I didn't really.
You're probably not the first guy to do that.
I didn't really get to adjust the tire pressure until like the 4th run, and the car ran a whole lot better, but I had eaten up the tires.
Well, Richard, best of luck to you today with all of your endeavors out there at Houston Motorsports Resort down there in Angleton. And hopefully we'll be in touch with you here in the next couple of weeks to talk about the autocross events.
And we invite all of our followers to join the SCCA, get out there and bring Mom's Buick and take a spin around the track. It's a great experience, not only just to have fun driving, but to learn, because a lot of these people that go to these events, they're happy to talk to you about what you need to do, how you need to see what you're driving through, because you're not looking at the turn you're making, you're looking at the next turn or the next turn after that.
Looking ahead, yeah.
It's a good learning experience that you can get from one of these events.
All right.
We've had a good bit of the Dodge Scat Pack guys showing up too. Those cars are moving pretty quick around the course as well.
Richard, thanks again. Take care of yourself. Good luck today, and we'll see you soon.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Richard Tomlin, SCCA Regional Executive, and also the head honcho out there at Apex Auto Works, Motor Works, whatever it is. Anyway, time now for Konrad's Car Clinic. What are we talking about on the car clinic today, sir?
So last week, did you get up in the morning early and there was frost on your windshield? No, you weren't.
I didn't get up that early.
I was out of the house at like 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, and we had a real good heavy frost, and the windshield had super heavy frost on it. Not quite ice, but it's close enough to ice.
Ice, baby.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about defrosting your windshield and the do's and don'ts of defrosting your windshield. One of the things I did was, I generally always do, the truck's the van's a turbo, so I usually start it up and let it warm up before I just throw it in gear and start driving away. But my truck's now 5 years old, and I drive in Houston, so what's on my windshield?
Motor oil after it's blown up for the second time.
Lots of rock chips on my windshield. So, all the little fisheye rock chips. And there was a couple of cracks in the windshield, small cracks in the windshield as well. So I fire the truck up. And when I do it, I just turn the heater off so there's no air blowing anywhere. And the truck came up to temperature. I turn the defroster on, turn the heater to high, and going to go ahead and melt the windshield.
And that crack ran from one end to the other.
All of a sudden, I look at my windshield, and it looks like a road atlas. You'd buy it at the Texaco
You might
station.
as well have gone ahead and thrown a bucket of water on it.
So one of the things you want to do with that is, if you can, is if you got a lot of cracks in your windshield, you don't want to put your defroster on super hot. You want to put your defroster on kind of a medium temperature and let it defrost. In Houston, it's not that big a deal. When you get up north, well, you're a Wisconsin boy. When you get way up north, it's a real issue because you have to clear ice off your windshield. But in Houston, you can actually clear your ice. You don't need to go out and buy an ice scraper. You just
They're only like $1. Why not?
Well, you can. I just use a credit card or a hotel key. The credit card and hotel keys. They do a real nice job. They clean the windshield real fast. Or you can spray de-icer on your windshield. Now down here, you might or might not want to carry de-icer with you. De-icer's super simple. You can make it at home. Your own little home brew of de-icer. Get a little 1-quart spray bottle. You put three cups of isopropylene alcohol. You can buy a bottle of it for about $1.50 at CVS. 1 cup of water and about 4 or 5 drops of dish soap in it. Spray your windshield. It'll clear your windshield in seconds. Better living through chemistry. So because you can really damage your windshield if you're not careful by de-icing. The other thing you can do is your wiper blades, don't run them over the frost. Wait till it kind of softens it up and then run them over the frost. Because as you're running them over the frost, that ice is the frost is doing some damage to the surface of the wiper blades.
I always like to hit the windshield washers when I'm doing that.
And if you have washer solvent in your windshield washers, that'll work, because washer solvent, the blue stuff, has a certain amount of isopropyl alcohol in it as well, because they use that to try and get the windshield to dry better, while that alcohol is going to do what it needs to do on the windshield to try and help clean the windshield. So, but you always want to clear your windshield before you start driving. You know, you don't want to be that little dweeb out there that's got this little bitty hole in the windshield, and they're looking out this little bitty hole waiting for the rest of the windshield to
while
clear.
they're on their phone.
While they're on their phone, driving through the neighborhood, and the kids are out running to get to the bus stop. So you want to definitely clear your windshield completely before you get on down the road. It doesn't really take that long in Houston, because generally all you're trying to clear down here is frost, not heavy ice. But the don't things to do is and we'll get ice every now and then down here. Don't get out there and start chipping the ice off of it
with a screwdriver.
Don't throw hot water on it, like Don was saying. It may clear the ice, but you're going to damage your windshield. You got to remember, in a windshield, the windshield itself is two pieces of glass. You have an outer layer, a plastic layer between, and an inner layer. And the reason your windshield cracks from throwing hot water on it is the outer layer expands because of the heat, and the inner layer doesn't, and that's where you get the cracks in the windshield.
Might I interject something?
Please do.
Free up your wiper blades first.
Well, if you can, kind of lift them up at night. If you know you're going to get a good freeze or a good ice layer, lift them up at night.
Who does that? Only you would do that.
Well, if I grew up in New York, I did it all the time.
We never do that here.
So
we have them stuck. We haven't replaced the rubber part of the wiper blade in 2 years.
Right.
And then you hit the go button,
and it goes, and then it stops working.
That's
Your
how you
wipers
can scrape
never
the
work.
ice. Use that to scrape the ice.
The rubber sticks to the windshield,
Yes,
and
it
then you
does.
wind up scratching it with the actual metal part of the
Or
wiper.
you break your wiper motors, because your wipers are designed to move. They're not designed to feel the stress of not moving.
Okay, we're about done with this?
Yep. So winter brings a new set of challenges as you're driving your car and defrosting the windshield. Be careful. It can be quite expensive if you start cracking your windshield, because now I'm going to have to put a windshield in my van, and I'm trying to.
He's already put a motor in it.
Twice.
Yeah. No, I've only put one motor in it.
All right. Thank you, sir, very much. Time now for this hour's car review. And we're running a little bit behind on the car review. We're sorry about that, Jeffrey. But
it's okay.
Jeffrey has our pre-owned car of the week, and that is the 2016 Mercedes-Benz E-Class wagon.
Yep.
And this was an E63?
E63.
That's a hot rod wagon.
Yeah, oh yeah. I did this for two reasons. One, I like wagons, and we got into the wagon discussion earlier. And two, Konrad is a Mercedes kind of guy. His wife,
she drives
Mercedes kind of girl.
And I'm a huge wagon fan. I love wagons. I think that they're
and
cool.
vans, and you talked about the shifter and the minivan. Oh, we digress. 2016 Mercedes-Benz E-Class wagon, E63. It's a sport luxury wagon. It's got a lot of luxury. It's got a lot of power. It's a cool vehicle. It's a 5-passenger. Changes, minimal design changes, some fascia designs, slight body changes. Look at that rascal. That is pretty neat. That looks like it's going fast right now, even with the wheel designs and such. So the exterior, you got different mirror designs. Exterior carbon fiber. There is carbon fiber on some of the rocker areas, the bumper areas, the fascia areas. They've got lane-changing packages, much like they have now in the current vehicles. Riding on some 17s, 18s, and 19s, you've got that choice of the sizes of the rims, and you got 245, 45 17s, up to a 285, 30, 19.
Oh, wow.
And they're all run flats.
I like the look of the exhaust on the back of that.
As well.
That's pretty cool.
I do as well. But they're all run flats, so you got a little bit stiffer ride on the tire side of it, but you've got a stiffer suspension as well. So that kind of complements each other. Dual interior on the interior side of it. You've got dual interior airbags. You've got auto delay headlamps. You've got pre-collision safety systems, which I think is pretty cool. That's most have that now, where the car either slows down or stops.
Or brakes.
Or it brakes, exactly. AMG sound camera package. Now, I've tried to investigate some of this. It's just an audio for the camera. It's basically what it is.
And it's a beautiful dash.
It is. That's a good cockpit right there. Moving on to this, you've got a 5.5-liter V8, 32-valve. You can get it in a V6, but that wouldn't be the performance. 577 horsepower at 5,500, and you got 590 foot-pounds of torque at 2,000, which is a pretty low RPM. 32 valves on that. 7-speed. 7-speed automatic manual, which is on the steering wheel shifter panels. 15 miles per gallon on the city, 21 highway, 18 combined. And
Mike Mars got 11.
Mike Mars got 11. Jeff probably got 11 too. Nevertheless, in moving on, I know we're a little bit short of time, so I'm just going to go on to the last part of it. We talked about the Magnum is in that class as well, the Dodge Magnum, and also the Cadillac CTS wagon as well. If you want to hold that shot, there's a little bit of thing on the logo.
Oh, Lord. Here we go with the logos
The first edition of the logo, word Mercedes, surrounded by an ellipse. There's no handshaking. Appeared on the cars manufactured by Daimler in its predecessor in 1902. After a while, the company introduced the new brand logo in 1909, glorious of 3-star points, and that's what you see there, the 3-star points. The technical director of Dutz Gottlieb Daimler designed it, and he actually sent the design to his wife in a postcard in 1872 and explained to her that this was going to be a world-leading logo for the manufacturer. He created it, and he said it's going to be a perfection of a vehicle. So the 3 points stood for Mercedes dominance over land, sea, and air. That's what those 3 points mean, because they were in the military, they were in water vehicles or ocean vehicles, and they're in obviously cars.
They built engines for all three.
Exactly. And it's an emblem to be put in a circle with the little stars of the circumscription, which is around there, the Mercedes-Benz circumscription Mercedes, and it's border, but they spell border differently in Germany. Right. So that actually became available in 1916, the circumscription.
Circumscription. Okay, well, I'll have to remember that if I can. Thank you, sir.
Like the rabbi said, it won't be long now. Sorry.
But I'm bummed.
We are.
Okay, so there's that. A couple of stories before we break for the top of the hour. In a bet that digital retailing will continue to accelerate in a post-pandemic world, Nissan will roll out a nationwide online shopping platform by this spring. The service, Nissan at Home, will enable consumers to shop for a vehicle, schedule test drives, complete the paperwork for a purchase, including credit approval and finance and insurance options, and take delivery without ever having to step inside of a dealership. Sorry. I keep trying to shut everybody else off, but I apparently am not doing a very good job of it. Nissan expects the majority of its retailers to sign up for the program. There's a cost. It was a response to a generation of shoppers who buy everything from shoes to smartphones with the click of a button.
So buy your Altima from Amazon. Well, almost.
Kind of. A U.S. regulator ruled Wednesday that Mahindra and Mahindra Limited's new design for its Roxor off-road vehicle did not infringe the intellectual property rights of Fiat Chrysler Automobile's Jeep brand 6 months after barring the sale of older models. Trade dress consists of the unique characteristics that make a product stand apart and is generally accepted as identified with that product by the public. For example, FCA sees the Jeep Wrangler's boxy body shape, 7-slot grille, and round headlights as distinct to the brand. Mahindra said that the 2020 model was refreshed and changed to avoid the issue. But the commission did not decide at that time whether the newer model and subsequent versions infringed Jeep's trade dress. The Roxor is assembled, believe it or not, in Auburn Hills, Michigan, with the same place as FCA.
Did you see pictures of it?
I did.
This looks like a mini Jeep, like no other thing is a mini Jeep, like a little
Well, yes, but now that they've changed the grille and some other things, it doesn't look.
And this isn't the first time Jeep has sued somebody, because they sued Hummer over it years ago.
Yeah, it's true. All right, well, that's it for this hour of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Coming up next, we have more of our car show, so we invite you to stay with us.
Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.